In 2020, the world has been shocked to its core by the events that have already happened and are continuing to happen due to the coronavirus. Economies have crashed, millions have lost jobs, bringing the world to a standstill while people wait, with the hope that things will return to some form of normalcy soon. The reach and effects of this virus are like no other, with hundreds of thousands infected and many more people dead from this. COVID-19, or coronavirus, is believed to have originated from a large seafood and live animal market located in Wuhan, China. Because of the location of the epicenter, animal-to-person spread is the most likely cause for this outbreak to happen. And as the virus spread from animal to people, more and more people came in contact with one another, causing this virus to spread rapidly and quickly. The effects of this disease can vary from person to person, with most cases found to be mild and people live through it. However, there are a number of factors that can increase the mortality rate of a group of people. 80% of the deaths so far were among adults aged 65 and older. People with underlying medical conditions were also more at risk. These conditions include heart problems, chronic lung disease, and diabetes, among other medical conditions. This all started December 31st, where in Wuhan, China, where a cluster of pneumonia cases were found to be. This was just decided as just a cluster, and a rapid response was already placed there, and the outbreak was beginning to happen. As the days went on, more and more cases grew, and eventually the World Health Organization realized this was a full-on pandemic. January 7th, the pathogen has been identified as a novel coronavirus, and this is where the panic really started to set in. Wuhan, China started to quickly get more and more cases as those cases spread across the globe, eventually hitting the United States right around January 21st. I personally believe there were more cases before this, but this is the first recorded case here. Soon after this, the city started to begin shutting down. Columbus, Ohio shut down very quickly as soon as these cases started to spread in Columbus and Ohio in general, and most of the states followed soon after. This virus has quickly become a prominent issue in the new year. There have been many articles posted on the effects of this virus on both people and the global economy. Since the start of this virus, there's been constant research trying to find a cure. One major thing found, though, is this virus typically takes 2 to 14 days for signs to be noticed, giving this virus plenty of time for people to spread it across the country. Many symptoms have been found, which are so common, such as cough, shortness of breath, or fever, even to loss of taste or smell. Many of these cases' symptoms can be diagnosed anywhere from mild to severe. Depending on any underlying pre-existing conditions, the severity can differ. The sport and entertainment world is one of the most heavily impacted sport industries at this point in time. Everything has stopped. The world is at a standstill because of this, especially sports and entertainment. Live events all over the world have been stopped for the time being in an attempt to prevent the spread of COVID-19 even more than it already has. Thousands of people can't even attend events due to the large amount of people fitting in stadiums. The more people there are in stadiums, the more likely the virus is to spread. So, shutting down all the major professional leagues, concerts, racing, anything possible that has a bunch of people in it needed to be shut down. The NFL, the MLS, NHL, NBA, NASCAR, all of them have either canceled their seasons, postponed them, or are looking to do some other form of season. NASCAR, for example, is hosting e-racing or electronic racing, where they're racing through their own personal video game, which is allowing a lot of the sponsors to still get their sponsorship money and for people to still be entertained by some sort of live event rather than watching old events on ESPN, which sucks. Locally, however, living in Columbus, Ohio, there's both an MLS and an NHL team. They are huge drivers of the economy here, along with Nationwide Arena, which hosts a lot of concerts. Since these have been shut down, there have not been a lot of things happening, and a lot of people have been bored not being able to attend anything. Even living in Ohio, there's still 2 NFL teams, which have both shut down also. And as you look across the country and across the world, you'll see many leagues, sport venues, entertainment venues, vacation spots, and other areas have been shut down for the time being and will continue to be shut down for the near future due to the coronavirus. Even though the government is working to reopen the country, I personally don't believe that this is a good idea just yet. I believe that we need to stay at home, slow down things, and make sure we're doing things right rather than rushing to reopen things just to prevent a second pandemic happening from this event. This pandemic has caused significant impacts on the lives of people all across the world, including me and my family. While I have not been super affected by this virus. I'm a healthy individual. I take care of myself. Honestly, the only inconvenience I've had so far is the fact that I can't go shopping or eat out at restaurants, and I have to take online classes. I was able to move home with my family for the first time in about 2 or 3 years at this point, which has been extremely amazing and has also given me the opportunity to work a job that has paid me a lot more money than I have been able to make in the past. Given this pandemic, I've had a lot more opportunities now than I was before, but even so, there are a lot of downsides to this pandemic. I have recently just accepted a job working with the inside sales team at NASCAR, which, as of right now, my start date is supposed to be June 8th, but in my mind, I don't feel like this is going to happen. I personally believe I won't be starting until sometime in July or August, just because of all this stuff happening right now. Along with this, my dad, who works retail, was furloughed by Gap Incorporated, and he's anxiously awaiting to go back to his job. As of now, I personally don't know what the future will hold for the world. The global economy is going to take many years to recover, with some predict at least 3 years or more, depending on the response to this virus. While the sports and entertainment industry hopefully will recover quickly and the odds are not high of a fast recovery, billions of dollars will need to be spent in order to find a cure and to bail out major companies and people all across the globe. There have already been massive bailouts for the airline industry, and I'm sure more will follow to retail and other areas. Stimulus checks are being handed out currently to support people in need, but I don't believe it's enough yet to help repair the economy. Overall, this pandemic has sucked for many reasons. The global economy has taken a major hit. I can't watch live sports. I can't go start my new job. A lot of people are sick and dying. And also, I'm just bored sitting at home all day. But I believe that if we focus and we stay home and we actually work towards things, that we will be able to recover from this and that we will be able to start our jobs and start normal again. Thank you.